You know, I've said it before, my old man's a retired police officer. He's been retired 30 years nearly, come to think of it. Doesn't seem like that long, but I remember sitting in a pub with him when I was about 18 years old. And he was telling me what he was going to do now. He was free from the shackles of law enforcement. One of the things I remember is my dad and, you know, other colleagues of his saying what a complete and utter disaster the whole law enforcement situation could turn into if things were allowed to carry on the way they were. Back in the day, they had something called the Ways and Means Act. They got the job done any which way they could, and the streets were safer as a result. I could tell you some stories that he's relayed to me, but some of these things that they used to do back in the day, they wouldn't have a job now if they did it in this day and age. Very sad thing, really. With the police today and law enforcement, they seem to be more interested in what comes out of people's mouths than the horrific actions that people take against their fellow man and woman, don't they? I mean, if you look at the ULEZ demonstrations in London I covered yesterday, and you can go and see that video on my list, they seem more interested in clearing innocent people from the streets that weren't doing anything than they were about dealing with serious and out of control crime in the rest of London. Very sad, isn't it? Very sad. Well, now it appears what comes out of our mouths is just as big an issue too. You know, we all have something to say, we all have an opinion about something somewhere, and we're entitled to it. Yet we're approaching a world that if you say the wrong thing to somebody, you could end up with a knock on the door from the old Bill. It's unbelievable. You look at Scotland, Hamza Yusuf. I always have to be careful with that pronunciation. I've been hanging around Paz too long. You know, we got this Scottish hate crime law which they introduced at the beginning of this month, whereby if you say something that's not agreeable to somebody, you could be arrested and possibly even imprisoned for it. So if you told somebody you didn't like something they said or did and they took offence, well, yes, good luck with that one. Well, a speech that Hamza Yusuf did some years ago came out, didn't it, where he was very anti-white, and I have to wonder whether he could have got arrested because of that if that speech was made now. Probably not, because the establishment seem to be impervious to all this sort of thing, don't they? Well, this has got out of control already. We've seen all the fuss with JK Rowling. We've seen others saying, well, arrest me, I opened my mouth and said something. It really is quite ludicrous, isn't it? Well, do you know how many complaints they've had, hate-related complaints, in the first week? 8,000. Yeah, 8,000. And again, you can Google that, it's all over the place. And what that tells me, people are just going to town with it. You know, it's showing what a ludicrous situation this whole hate crime bill is. It just doesn't work, because there's no interpretation as to what is considered a hate crime that comes out of here, and moreover, what are the police supposed to do with regard to dealing with those hate crimes? There's no guidance, there's no indication as to what you do about it. So then these phone calls will continue and it will be overwhelmed. I wonder how many hate crimes have been reported against Hamza Yusuf himself over some of the things he said, some of the things he's done. And you've seen the people out on the streets saying, no, we don't like this. And you get a situation where people are actually fearful of opening their mouths, fearful of speaking. Now, somebody made the comment that this thing has been put in place in Scotland to protect something, or protect a certain way of doing things. Maybe they may have a point. Maybe they may have a point with that. But is it going to roll out to the rest of the land? Is it going to be the UK next? Is it going to be Wales? Is it going to be Northern Ireland? They certainly wouldn't put up with it, would they? What do you think in the comments? Let me know. Share this video, because, you know, discussions like this are important. Make sure you hit the like button, and obviously subscribe to the channel. And I look forward to talking to you again soon. Toodaloo.